What's up, YouTube? Hope you're all doing well. Car Guru here with another video, yet another video. Today's topic, and I've seen this topic all over YouTube where different YouTubers will talk about their personal cars or car and just go through with a list of 5 things they either like or dislike about their vehicles. So I thought, okay, well, why not give into this trend and talk about the 5 things that I like about my 2002 BMW 540i, or the E39 chassis. So let's get driving here. All right. So, that's number 1. The first thing I like about the first thing I love about my E39 540i is the sound that the engine makes. It's a very, I mean, of course you need an aftermarket exhaust to get the full soundtrack over here. And I have that. I have the Dynon Catback exhaust on this car. And in my opinion, after going through and listening to various YouTube videos for exhaust sounds on YouTube, I decided that, you know, nothing sounded as good as the Dynon Catback exhaust system for the E39 540i's, and I went ahead with it, and I've been happy ever since. So the first thing I do love about my car is the sound. You know, this exhaust, it crackles and there's pops and there's a backfire every once in a while as well, especially when the car is like semi-cold and the engine is still heating up, and you get on it a little bit and let off the throttle and you can get a pretty decent backfire. The second thing, of course, is I guess it ties into the first point. I love the engine and transmission. Let's make that a 2-in-1 point. I love the transmission and the engine combination in this car. The 6-speed manual is definitely a blessing in disguise, because, you know, this could have been exactly like the 7 Series BMW from this time, from this era, and just had a V8 or the big engine, or really only have had an automatic transmission coupled to whatever engine there was in this. But instead, BMW, you know, gave us the option of not only an automatic, a torque converter automatic, but also a proper 6-speed manual. And that makes this, you know, mid-size sedan, I call it medium-size sedan, it's a pleasure to drive. It's a joy to drive. It's absolutely fantastic to drive, all because you have a 6-speed manual hooked up to a V8. Number 3, I love the handling of this car. And yes, I know BMWs from this era were a lot more driver focused than BMWs of nowadays, I guess, or the current time. They're not as pure in their form and function as the older BMWs from this era, as well as the older ones, even older than this. So for that reason, because BMW was so concentrated on the driver feel and, you know, just generally the driving characteristics of their cars, that even this 5 Series, despite being close to 4,000 pounds in weight, it still handles like a champ. You can take it to a back road, and if you performed a few modifications here and there with these 540s, if you started using M5 bits or even other aftermarket coilovers or, you know, whatever, you can actually make this thing handle awesome with wide tires and so on and so forth, with a little bit of suspension geometry. So otherwise, from the factory, you still have your 50-50 weight distribution, which BMW again is known for in almost all of their cars. It's just a great handling car, and I don't know how to go into details about that, but you know, you throw it into a corner and what it does best is mask its weight pretty well. So for a car this heavy, it it never makes you feel like you're driving a heavy car. And the same goes for the E39 M5, which is a lot more powerful than this, but I always say this is the diet version anyway. So yes, I love the handling on these cars. Phenomenal handling for the size and for the weight of this car. Number 4, what I do love about this car is the technology. So don't get me wrong, it's not the most technologically advanced car out there in 2017. Wasn't the most advanced car in 2002 either, early 2000s. But for me, it has just the right amount of technology. I have a stereo, I have air conditioning, I have a heated steering wheel, I have heated seats, and the seats are like, you know, a million way adjustable. The steering wheel is electronically adjustable. You know, you have xenon headlights, you have LED tail lights, and you have a gorgeous interior. Depending on what color combination you get, it always looks good. You know, the seats have a good amount of technology packed into them with the way that you can move the seats. You can move the headrests up and down. You know, electronic mirrors, and you know, heated side mirrors, and just an auto dimming rear view mirror. And you know, some cars came equipped with a sunshade. Some cars had an upgraded system. Some cars even came with navigation. So for me, you know, this car has the perfect amount of technology without being intrusive to the driving experience. This car still has hydraulic steering, which is absolutely wonderful. And I guess that probably ties into the handling or the driving experience of this car. Absolutely phenomenal steering. It's not as sharp as the smaller BMWs like 3 Series of the same era, but it's still pretty damn good when you load it up into a corner. And it's got great pedal feel, brake pedal feel, great clutch feel. And even though they switched for the latter E39 years, they switched up to an electronic throttle setup, you know, it's still very responsive. And yet, you know, you know, it's not that great of a feel, but it's still very responsive from a driver's perspective. So really, BMW knew exactly what they were doing, and they had their head in the right place. So with this car, it's got that perfect mix of technology combined with a wonderful driving experience. So yes, I do love everything that this car has to offer from a technological standpoint. And finally, the 5th thing I love about this car is the amount of space you have in this car. Again, don't get me wrong, a 7 Series and Audi A8 is a lot bigger than this and will probably offer a lot more headroom, a lot more leg room, and so on. But I'm only 5'5", 5'6", and for me, I mean, I would be okay with sitting and daily driving a Lotus Elise, like, you know, based on my height. But I love this car because you can carry a whole bunch of luggage and you can fit 4 people in this thing comfortably. And it's great in those times when I actually need to haul people around or haul a lot of stuff around. The seats fold down, and it's just amazing how much space you can make in this car and how many items you can fit in here. And you know, a person who's 6 foot tall or a little bit taller than 6 foot can comfortably sit in the back seat and have enough leg room and headroom to spare. So I love the space in this car. And then you have a lot of, you know, the doors have a lot of these map pockets, bottle holders. The cup holders are crap like every other German car, you know, but you still have them, and there's 2 of them. You have, you know, you have a lot of space. You have trays here, you have a little console here, you have a place over here to put your phone. You know, you have the pouches and behind the seats where you can put your documents, folders, and stuff. And then the trunk is really, really big. I mean, I could probably, there could be like 2 of me sleeping in that trunk, no problem. And that's without exaggeration. It's not that I've tried that, but still, I'm pretty sure I can fit 2 of myself in the trunk of this car. So really, I love this space. So that's 5 things I love, absolutely love about the E39 540i. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and what I'll do in the next video series, I have to think about it, is 5 things that I not necessarily hate, but I dislike about my E39 540i BMW. So As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and comment. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care.